Israel exports advanced cybersecurity protocols, custom silicon, and enterprise AI systems to the entire globe. But when it comes to pouring concrete, the state is facing a $35 billion backlog. Critical physical assets like the new Tel Aviv metro system and planned airport expansions are stalled. Domestic construction companies simply do not have the manpower to execute these projects. The local labor pool has sharply contracted, and the few companies large enough to bid on mega projects form a tight oligopoly that drives up costs. To break this gridlock, Israeli envoy Reuven Azar recently proposed an unexpected fix, extending formal invitations to Indian infrastructure firms to build Israel's future airports. Asset-light economies excel at writing software and designing microchips, but their high labor costs and fragmented contractor pools make it incredibly difficult to physically construct their own foundations without importing foreign industrial scale. Out of all the established international contractors in Europe and East Asia, Israel is looking 4,000 miles away to New Delhi. The explanation traces back to a recent ceremony in Paris, where the Prix-Versailles Architecture and Design Awards were announced at the UNESCO headquarters. Among the winners for the 2026 World's Most Beautiful Airports were two Indian projects, Guwahati's Terminal 2 and the Navi Mumbai International Airport. Securing a high-profile aesthetic award in Paris serves as global validation. Indian engineering has evolved past strictly utilitarian domestic building into the development of premium world-class infrastructure. Over 15 years, India has sustained a hyperactive domestic construction boom, laying over 1,000 kilometers of track to build the world's third-largest metro system. Western developers generally operate on an asset-light model, relying heavily on a fragmented network of outsourced subcontractors for equipment and labor. Indian developers have evolved differently, utilizing an engineering, procurement, and construction, or EPC model. These EPC giants maintain massive balance sheets, directly own their heavy machinery, and operate through a vertically integrated supply chain. Because they own the entire pipeline from design to final execution, Indian EPC firms can absorb severe market risks. If raw material prices spike or global shipping is delayed, they have the internal buffer to keep timelines intact. They also lean heavily on modular prefabrication. By assembling massive steel and concrete elements off-site and shipping them in for rapid installation, they drastically reduce the hours required on the ground. A highly industrialized, self-contained execution model is exactly what a high-cost, labor-scarce environment like Israel needs to move its backlog. To win international bids, sheer scale isn't enough. The contractors must prove they can execute highly complex, bespoke architectural designs. For the Navi Mumbai International Airport, the design was conceived by Zaha Hadid Architects, utilizing an intricate lotus flower concept for the entire structural language. Translating that design into reality required pouring 17 megacolumns to support a massive floating roof canopy without relying on mid-concourse obstructions. At Guwahati's Terminal 2, the execution required incorporating 140 metric tons of engineered local bamboo to structurally mimic the regional foxtail orchid. Taking demanding, culturally specific designs and successfully building them into physical reality acts as a final proof of concept. It signals to international project authorities that Indian firms can handle their most complex physical challenges. Which brings us back to the $35 billion worth of delayed metro lines and aviation hubs in Israel. Hiring Indian EPC firms solves the Israeli labor shortage instantly by importing an entire pre-organized workforce in one massive deployment. Bureaucratically, these workers operate entirely under their home country's corporate structures. This eliminates the friction of trying to integrate thousands of foreign laborers into fragmented local Israeli subcontractors. Israel is effectively outsourcing its entire infrastructure execution layer, bypassing its own domestic physical constraints to guarantee its economic growth. The partnership is reciprocal. Deploying massive balance sheets and thousands of workers abroad secures high-value returns for India. In exchange for concrete and labor, Israel offers advanced technology transfers and billions of dollars in incoming semiconductor investments to Indian markets. The operational knowledge transfer is just as valuable. Building Israeli infrastructure gives Indian firms hands-on experience integrating elite Israeli cybersecurity protocols, AI logistical tracking, and smart perimeter defenses directly into mass transit builds. Ultimately, this strategic alliance, trading massive labor for advanced technology, marks India's graduation into a dominant architect of global mega infrastructure.
Subscribe for more such reports.